Hello everybody and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we are going to look at, well, this tier 7 Russian cruiser. The Shchors. I'm only just starting to play the ship as I am grinding up another line on my live account. And I've got to say, this ship is surprising. I'm surprised by the fact that the ship is not as bad as I thought she'd be. Initially when I looked at the ship, I looked at the fact that, her turning circle was pretty large, the rudder shift was pretty slow. Mind you, I'm still on the stock hull, so it'll probably improve once I get the upgraded hull. Um, and also the fact that her armor just wasn't really up to snuff, and I thought, geez, this cruiser is gonna be a little bit on the rough end. But I've played her for a little bit, and, well, let's just say that my results with her haven't been all that bad. Yes, she does have those flaws. Yes, she's like a big cruiser, doesn't turn very much, kind of turns like a bit of a whale, to be honest. Um, and yeah, you don't want to take hits from stuff. But she works for me. And I think part of the reason why she works for me is the fact that she does have a very good amount of firepower. 1,252 millimeter guns, where if you pack IFHE, you're going to be able to pen some stuff and do some damage. That combined with the fact that I am able to generally stay a little bit further away does sort of, I guess, mesh well with my playstyle. Now, mind you, I mean, if I was on an account where I wasn't identifiable, I'd probably play cruisers a little bit more aggressively. However, yeah, those chances are few and far between. In most cases, I get noticed and I do take a lot of focus fire. Not particularly in this battle at the early stages, I don't think. But there have been other ones where, as a cruiser player, I'm like, guys, I am literally this far behind major threats. Stop shooting at me. And so, yeah, the Shchors, it works for me. It allows me to stand off a little bit more, stay in places where I'm a little bit safer, and at the same time provide that fire support that can help the team, which you'll see me doing right now, because you'll see that I'm sort of behind the battleships, and I'm definitely in the back line, right? But I've got that range, and I've got that reach, so I'm poking enemy ships with my HE, poking them for some damage and some fires, and if they really get a little bit too far away from me, I will probably have to pop the scout plane and try to tag them for some additional fires and damage at range. And this is quite doable if you're playing the Shchors. The Shchors has pretty good shell arcs. The muzzle velocity is okay, and she's also got very good rate of fire as well. And so even if you miss one salvo, it's okay. Your next one is coming reasonably quickly, which is one of the reasons why I think I do like the ship. Just that firepower is very, very nice. Also, maybe potentially, there's a huge chance that this might be happening as well, is that we're just simply in an era right now in World of Warships where the number of CV players just maybe isn't that high. So one of the weaknesses, for example, for the Shchors is her very, very weak AA suit. And you don't really feel that because your AA just doesn't play as big of a role as it might have before. Now, speaking of carriers, I remember reading very, very recently, I think it was during a Halloween stream Q&A and stuff like that, where Wargaming EU staff, I believe, they've come out and they've talked about carriers, and they've said that they've sort of made a mistake, or whatever you want to call it, about calling 2017 the year of the CV. That there are some really big problems with carriers. They have this, oh, I don't know, what do you want to call this? They have a pathway of maybe getting around to fixing it, and they did mention one very interesting thing. They did say that part of fixing carriers is actually to revamp the entire AA and concealment systems, which I've been talking about since forever, I think. Every time I talk about carriers, I'm like, yeah, AA is a huge problem. If you have the current AA mechanics, you can't really fix carriers. If you got the current concealment mechanics, you can't really fix carriers. And there's all these problems, and I'm glad they've at least admitted that these problems exist, but, I wish they would maybe offer some more details. I know that's hard because they don't want to get caught in the whole like, we gave X amount of information and it didn't end up happening, so therefore, people hate us or whatever. So I can understand that, but I do wish, after all this time, after all the suffering that carrier players have gone through, I just wish they would offer something a little bit more concrete. And it seems like the timeline for the fix is not happening any day soon either. I mean, 2018 sometime. So maybe another 12 months of pain and suffering. I don't know. It's looking pretty painful to me. So we'll see. I mean, hopefully, I can nag them a little bit. Maybe dig up some more details. I don't know. But really do wish they would just give us something more. Anyhow, going back to the battle of the shores here, as you can tell, I've basically hung around the back lines. I'm using terrain cover where I can, using situations where I'm not the main target to really get some damage in. Although, right around here, I probably could have gone for an AP salvo or two. That might have been able to pick up some additional damage. But I am, of course, keeping an eye on my map as well, and I do see that there is a Prince Eugen that is in a very bad position, and if he survives the ships that are there, the allied ships that are there, he is going to come towards me, so I'm getting ready to engage him as well. So you see, I'm starting to pull out from behind the island, and at the same time that I notice the Prince Eugen's there, continue to just put some additional shots in on this Gneiss. Now, I do want to kill it as soon as possible. Alright. With the Prince Eugen coming out full broadside, you'll see I immediately switch from AP to, HE to AP. Switch to AP, that's what I was going to say. And at this kind of range, the shores, even your AP will do some very nice damage. So first salvo there, managed to land myself a Citadel, second salvo there, and I finish off the Prince Eugen. Gneiss now gets finished off in the distance by someone else, so, well, back to it, right? Back to the HE slinging, because, well, at distance, AP is just not all that great. Close range, it's fine, but at range, you're better with HE. Just might as well burn everything to death. And while that's happening, because that's not the most exciting thing to watch, burning a battleship down from 16 kilometers away, there is a question I want to ask all of you. There is going to be a Let's Battle Tour event on board USS Lexington down at Corpus Christi this weekend, November 4th? I think it's the 4th of November. My dates could be messed up, but I think it's the 4th of November. How many of you are going to be there? If you're going to be there, let me know. And also, try to see if you can find me wandering around. I should have a camera with me and a bag with my name on it, I think. So see if you can find me, and, we can maybe, like, chill for a bit and chat about ships or something. Okay, moving on. This is another question I have for you guys. Maybe you can answer me in the comment section. Lately, I've been having very, very bad, like, crashes from World of Warships. Just, like, out of nowhere. Start of the battle, end of a battle, donk! You'll hear that warning sound, and then, like, there's this huge message with all this stuff on it. And something memory related, I think, but I don't understand why I'd be having it, considering I basically run the game completely vanilla with nothing except for replays enabled, which I have to have, otherwise I won't have anything to show you guys. So I don't know if any of you guys are having this problem. Let me know in the comment section below. If there's a lot of people who are experiencing this, maybe I can, like, post it to somebody and maybe I'll have them look at it or something. Alright, so with that out of the way, let's go back to the battle, because this last part is a little bit more exciting. Right now, my team is definitely in the lead. We've got all 3 caps. We have a point advantage. However, if you look at the ships, our control of the battle as of the moment is still a little bit dicey. Enemy team has 2 battleships. They have a Grafspee and 2 more destroyers. If the 2 destroyers remain well concealed and they don't show themselves for no reason, they might still be able to contest some caps. A cap, C cap maybe. And if the battleships and the other heavy cruiser decide to pincer us, things might not look so pretty, considering we've got 3 cruisers and 2 destroyers only, and the 3 cruisers are very fragile ones, to say the least, because we have a Fiji, we have a Pensacola. Those are not 2 very world-renowned durable cruisers, and you have me, also not very durable. So Grash Bay comes first into the A cap and is starting to get capped. So get off a shot here, and there's smoke there. So there's one destroyer there at least. And I'm trying to get that reset off so that I can get over to A cap before that Grash Bay takes it. And then the Mahan opens fire on me. No reason for this Mahan to open fire. In fact, by opening fire, the Mahan actually does his team a bit of a disservice. And afterwards, the player who played the Mahan knew it, because I actually got a PM from the Mahan player. It was like, why did I shoot at you? Why? There was no point to it. Because there isn't. And not only was there no point to it, it actually made my life easier. Because prior to that, if you'd looked on the minimap, the Mahan was at the island around C6. That was the last seen indicator. Now, if the Mahan was there, you figure that you're more likely to be dealing with a pincer movement, right? The Grash Bay on this side, with the Akatsuki on this side, and the Mahan with the two battleships on the other side. This will make it a bit of a dangerous situation for my team. Instead, now that I know that there's nothing on the other side except for the two battleships, well, battleships in the sea cap. Not usually a very good position. So now I'm 100% confident that if I'm able to come here and take care of the ships on this side, then my team has a very good chance of like guaranteeing the win, right? So I push forward quite aggressively. Obviously there is a smoke in front of me, and the Grash Bay does have, let's say, its share of weapons against me. Namely, big guns and torpedoes with pretty sweet arcs, and it's gonna get dicey for me, but I'm gonna push in here and I'm gonna see if I can finish off the Grash Bay, whether that's through potentially point blank range, going for the Citadel, maybe torpedoes. But yeah, see, there's always something that comes and changes your mind, namely this destroyer. The destroyer is low HP. Not sure why the destroyer decided to come in here. I'm obviously gonna kill the destroyer first, because if I leave him alive and he gets the concealment and everything and sneaks back away, another problem for my team. So instead decide to finish off the destroyer and go for torpedoes, and therefore trading kills with the Grash Bay. Still, that flank now perfectly secure. Benson is able to now move on to A quite happily and grab the cap. Once this cap is secure, my team 100% will have the win. It doesn't matter if the other two cruisers get like insta-detonated, we're going to win on cap points alone. And so that's pretty much the battle. I do pretty well. Although, like I said, I don't have, unfortunately, the EXP screens and the credit earn screens and stuff like that. It's just, hey, the game crashed. What can you do, right? Anyhow, I guess one final topic to talk about today, and I think I'll talk about this in a little bit more detail in another video, because, yeah, there's going to be some serious questions that I've got to ask and I've got to consider. But I gotta say, lately there has been some shenanigans with YouTube. Just ridiculous. I mean, the last, God, how many videos? I would say probably like 6 videos, maybe 7, on like really like normal stuff. I mean, hell, the last video that is like, you know, notable to me, where there's zero controversy at all, was the Julia Cesare review. And that's literally just a review video. There was no bad language, nothing bad in it at all. I mean, hell, you could take up the entire list of social justice warrior topics and go through it one by one, and there's probably nothing there, unless maybe you're offended by Italian ships or something. Anyhow, so yeah, that video went up, and probably within like 12 hours, it went from monetized to limited ads. And, you know, and then I appealed it, and it took probably 2 days, maybe more, before it was resolved. And I gotta tell you guys, it's absolutely killing me off right now. This whole thing on YouTube is basically not sustainable anymore. So, yeah, there's gonna be some interesting questions and things I've got to, you know, think through in the next little while. Anyways, folks, I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. It's an interesting little showcase for the Shchors. I don't think she's that bad of a ship anymore, so that's a good thing. Aside from all that, folks, you all have a good one. Take care. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll talk to all of you again next time.